the reality of actually, and the practicality of actually getting all of these things done, not to mention the least of which is funding and money.
Right. Well, also, I think that we have to remember that these are tragedies. They're also outlier cases. This is not the norm. The norm is not that an illegal immigrant is murdering innocent people. That's the crime rate among illegal immigrants is actually quite low. And so by focusing on these heartbreaking cases and trying to extrapolate out from that and say, well then, oh my gosh, we have to get rid of all these illegal immigrants, I don't think that's fair. I think when you talk about people who have been detained and then let go and commit a crime, that kind of stuff also happens with American citizens, and there are tragedies as well. And so in those cases, yes, we want them to do a better job if there's somebody that they have who has engaged in criminal activity, and we don't want them letting them back out into society anymore. We would want them to do if that was a legal citizen.
Do you think that the people who Donald Trump is trying to reach, the people he needs, are they going to see this as politicizing these families?
She brought up American citizens doing the same thing, though.
Donald Trump's supporters like this, and I do think that
Thank you. Open the door wider.
I'm not sure that a lot of people necessarily know what I just said. The statistics about the criminal statistics in terms of violent crimes, in terms of illegal undocumented immigrants. I don't know if people necessarily know that, so it could be a fear tactic that works on people if they think that this is a real problem that's facing the country.
Lloyd?
Here's what I know. I don't know what the statistics are, but I know Jamil Shah. I've gotten to know him very, very well. And his son was on a way to coming home from high school football camp. He had just been accepted to Stanford to go and play football. He lives in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, excuse me. And the day an illegal/undocumented individual was released from prison, he drove by and shot Jamil Shah Jr. in the face 3 times. Okay? The person was in a prison, was released that day, was a member of a gang, and in order to initiate that they were still part of that gang, you know what he did? He went and killed somebody for no reason. That person should have immediately been deported. Look, one crime is one crime too many, and if you want to go meet with the Shaw family or all the other victims of the families I've had the opportunity to meet with, it is egregious. It is egregious that we're allowing people who are in our country not to be immediately deported if they've committed a crime. They should be immediately deported.
Well, I do think if somebody has committed a violent crime and they're an illegal immigrant, then you're not going to get any disagreement out of me. But like I just said, the story you just told, you could find somebody to tell you that story that's happened to somebody with an American citizen who got out of jail and committed a crime, and that's a tragedy. But why are you trying to make it seem like this is some pervasive problem in our society when it just isn't? Statistically, it doesn't. No, you actually said at the beginning that the statistics don't matter to you, but they should.
Human lives matter.
An anecdote is not the same thing as a fact.
And that's my question. The facts
do matter. Got him again.
And everyone, with the caveat,
3 minutes.
There is sympathy for these families. How could one not sympathize?
If he cares about lives, and why doesn't he care about ones that police kill? And you see where I'm getting ready to put these guys?
A huge problem.
That's why I have to have this.
I think, and I love Corey for doing it because he is actually manipulating this and spinning it. But my heart aches for the Shaw family, my heart aches for the Steinle family, and everyone who's lost a loved one just unnecessarily through gun violence or any other violence in this country. But I also know that every illegal immigrant is not someone that's out there just maniacally murdering people, not maniacally committing all these crimes. I mean, we keep going back to the numbers, and the wrong numbers don't bear it out. And if I give you credit and say that Donald Trump on day 1 will deport all the criminals, that still does not fix our immigration problem. And I understand Donald Trump wants to harp on that, but I think that Donald Trump will have a much more successful campaign if he does not bastardize other minority groups. In Donald Trump's speech today, and I was talking off air with Mark about this, in Donald Trump's speech today, he went through and said, I love the Mexican people. We talked about the Mexican Americans who contributed to our society. But he has yet to give one singular example of a Mexican American or an immigrant who's done something positive in this country. He had the opportunity at the speech, he had the opportunity at the RNC, he had the opportunity tonight, and he's refused to do that. And that's just a very, very dark place.
Very Corey. Corey, would you like to respond to that?
Look, I think what he has said is he is asking for a better America for everybody. He's been very clear about that, so that every African American, every Asian American, every Hispanic American has the best opportunities in front of them. And as the President of the United States, that's the opportunities that he wants to create. And that's very simple.
Taking you
Okay, Lori, you get the first word on the other side of the break. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, it's a whole different subject I want to raise
Okay,
anyway, so
okay.
that's good.
So we're from Lori Borger, Mark Preston, and more from Kirsten and everyone else on the panel right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Remember, the guy doesn't know his stuff and he's lying, and that's what we're gonna get
Today,
on.
Sarah's class is reading
Because
my
if they want to talk about, just 1 second before this one's over, if they want to talk about illegal aliens and getting back, well, how about if we get back on the cops that kill people, and boy, do we got it good with the 2003 DOJ agreement, huh? Now I'll cut it off.